Imagine a man who does not need to be understood, not because he is misunderstood, but because understanding is no longer required for his stability. He does not seek alignment from the outside. He does not adjust his posture to fit expectations. He does not explain his silence. He stands exactly where he is. And the world slowly adjusts around him. This man is not aggressive. He does not dominate through force. He does not raise his voice. His power is quieter than that. It comes from internal alignment. Most people never experience this state. They live externally oriented lives. Their emotions are regulated by reactions. Their confidence depends on feedback. Their sense of self fluctuates with approval and rejection. They believe this is normal. It is not. It is dependency disguised as social functioning. The modern world rewards emotional accessibility. It teaches you to respond quickly, to explain yourself constantly, to justify your boundaries, to display vulnerability on demand, and slowly, without noticing it, you give away authority over your internal state, because anything that reacts on command is not in control. The man who is internally sovereign understands something early. Control does not come from influence over others. It comes from non-reactivity to circumstance. This is the foundation. Before discipline becomes action, it becomes posture. An internal posture that does not lean forward emotionally, that does not chase reassurance, that does not collapse under pressure. This posture is rare, and rarity changes everything. Most people leak intent. They reveal frustration in tone, neediness in timing, insecurity in explanation. They talk too much when uncertain. They move too fast when anxious. They react too strongly when threatened. This creates predictability, and predictability is vulnerability. The internally disciplined man becomes unreadable, not mysterious, not deceptive. Unreadable because there is nothing reactive to read. His emotions exist, but they are contained. His thoughts exist, but they are not broadcast. His presence is grounded, and grounded presence carries weight. This is why calm individuals are often perceived as powerful even when they hold no formal authority. Because power is first felt, not declared. Let us clarify something important. This state is not emotional suppression. Suppression creates tension. Tension leaks. Discipline creates structure. Structure holds. The difference between suppression and discipline is the difference between pressure and stability. Suppressed emotion seeks release. Disciplined emotion becomes information. The disciplined man does not ask, "What do I feel?" He asks, "What is required?" This single shift changes behavior completely. When behavior is no longer driven by emotion, emotion loses its leverage. This is where freedom begins. Most people believe freedom means expressing everything. In reality, freedom means choosing expression. Choice requires space. Space requires delay. Delay requires discipline. This is why the disciplined mind moves slower, not because it is hesitant, but because it is deliberate. Deliberateness intimidates chaos. Chaos relies on speed. It overwhelms with urgency. It provokes with emotion. It pressures with immediacy. The disciplined man does not accept this tempo. He sets his own. And when the tempo changes, the dynamic changes. People who rush feel uncomfortable around those who don't. People who react feel exposed around those who don't. This discomfort is not hostility. It is contrast. And contrast creates hierarchy. Hierarchy does not require domination. It emerges naturally when one nervous system is regulated and another is not. This is why leadership is often silent. The loudest voice in the room is rarely the most powerful. The most powerful presence does not compete for attention. Attention comes to it. Now consider how often you are pulled out of alignment. Messages, requests, expectations, emotional demands disguised as urgency. Each pull seems small. Together, they fragment identity. The disciplined man notices the pull and does not move, not out of defiance, out of clarity. Clarity tells him what deserves response and what does not. Most things do not. This is not indifference, it is prioritization. When everything feels urgent, nothing is important. The disciplined man restores importance by removing immediacy. This is the first real act of power. Not control over others, control over access, access to attention, access to time, access to emotional energy. When access is controlled, stability follows, and stability is magnetic. People trust what does not fluctuate. They follow what does not panic. They respect what does not beg. This is the beginning of internal authority, not given, not negotiated, assumed. And once assumed, it is rarely challenged. To understand the next layer of discipline, you must understand reaction. Reaction is not response. Reaction is automatic. Response is chosen. Most people live reactively because they confuse speed with intelligence. They believe that fast answers equal competence, that immediate emotion equals authenticity, that visible engagement equals importance. None of this is true. Speed without control is exposure, and exposure is weakness. Every time you react without delay, you reveal your internal wiring, your triggers, your expectations, your emotional dependencies. The disciplined man hides none of this, because there is nothing to hide. He simply does not react. This is deeply unsettling to the undisciplined, because reaction creates rhythm. When you react, you accept the tempo set by someone else. When you pause, you break the rhythm. Breaking rhythm shifts power. This is why silence feels heavy. Silence is not empty time. It is unclaimed time. And unclaimed time creates uncertainty. Uncertainty forces recalibration. The person who provokes waits for confirmation. Confirmation comes in many forms: anger, defense, explanation, justification. When none arrive, the provocation collapses inward. The aggressor begins to self-regulate. This is the first invisible victory. The disciplined man understands this intuitively. He does not counterattack. He withdraws his participation. Without participation, there is no exchange. Without exchange, there is no leverage. This principle applies everywhere. Conflict, negotiation, social dynamics, professional environments. Those who speak first after tension usually lose position. Those who fill silence signal discomfort. Those who rush to clarify signal insecurity. The disciplined man allows silence to exist, not because he enjoys tension, but because tension reveals truth. Now let us speak about psychological distance. Distance is not absence. Distance is space without withdrawal. It is the ability to remain present without being accessible. Most people collapse this distinction. They believe presence requires availability. It does not. True presence requires centeredness. Centeredness means your internal state is not adjusted by external demand. This creates a stable core. From that core, interaction becomes optional. Optionality is power. When interaction is optional, you do not need to extract value from it. You are not seeking validation. You are not managing impressions. You are not defending identity. You are simply there, and that simplicity is disarming. Now consider emotional transparency. Modern culture praises openness, but openness without structure creates exposure without strength. The disciplined man does not hide emotion. He contains it. Containment is not denial. It is ownership. Emotion is processed privately, then released or integrated deliberately. This protects dignity. Dignity is the silent currency of authority. Once dignity is lost, no amount of explanation restores it. This is why disciplined individuals rarely overshare. They understand that intimacy without boundaries is not connection, it is leakage. Leakage weakens internal posture. Internal posture determines external position. Now let us talk about waiting. Waiting is one of the most misunderstood disciplines. Undisciplined minds experience waiting as anxiety. Disciplined minds experience waiting as leverage. While others rush to fill space, the disciplined man observes. Observation gathers information. Information reduces risk. Risk reduction increases confidence. Confidence slows behavior. Slow behavior commands respect. This is why powerful individuals often appear unhurried. They are not relaxed. They are prepared. Preparation removes urgency. Urgency is a sign of poor positioning. The disciplined man positions first, then moves. Now consider how people attempt to control you. They use urgency. This must be decided now. This needs an answer immediately. If you don't respond, something is wrong. Urgency without consequence is manipulation. The disciplined man does not accept borrowed urgency. He asks one question internally. What happens if I do nothing? Often the answer is nothing. And when nothing happens, control returns. This is a crucial realization. You do not need to win every interaction. You only need to avoid losing position. Position is preserved through restraint. Restraint is invisible strength. Now let us examine emotional independence. Most people are emotionally dependent without realizing it. They need agreement to feel stable. They need acknowledgement to feel valid. They need reaction to feel real. This dependency creates vulnerability. The disciplined man removes dependency. He becomes emotionally self-contained. Not isolated, contained. Contained emotion does not seek confirmation. This creates composure. Composure alters how others treat you. They become more careful, more measured, more intentional, because composure signals consequence, not threat, consequence. Now consider respect. Respect is not demanded. It is adjusted to. People adjust their behavior around those who do not adjust emotionally. This adjustment happens unconsciously. It is nervous system to nervous system communication. Calm systems dominate chaotic ones without effort. This is not dominance in the aggressive sense. It is dominance through stability. Now let us address self-command. Self-command is the ability to remain internally aligned when external pressure rises. Pressure exposes structure. Weak structures collapse. Strong structures hold. The disciplined man trains holding. He practices discomfort without reaction. Silence under provocation. Delay under pressure. stillness under uncertainty. These practices compound. Over time, reaction loses its grip, and when reaction loses its grip, choice appears. Choice is the birthplace of authority. This is where the internal hierarchy shifts. Emotion moves below intention. Impulse moves below values. Urgency moves below clarity. This internal order creates external calm, and external calm creates influence. Now understand this. Influence does not come from persuasion, it comes from position. The disciplined man holds position. He does not explain it. He does not defend it. He occupies it. And occupation stabilizes reality. Others adjust. This adjustment is subtle, but it is permanent. To understand true discipline, you must understand attention. Attention is not neutral. It is directional energy. Where your attention goes, your internal structure follows. Most people do not control their attention. It is hijacked by noise, by conflict, by novelty, by emotional triggers disguised as relevance. They believe they are aware. In reality, they are fragmented. Fragmentation is not weakness of intellect. It is weakness of command. The disciplined man commands his attention with precision, not aggressively, not rigidly, selectively. He understands that attention is finite, and anything finite must be protected. This is why he appears distant, not because he is disengaged, but because he refuses to scatter himself. Scattered presence has no weight. Concentrated presence bends environments. Now consider the difference between involvement and engagement. Involvement is emotional. Engagement is intentional. Most people become involved everywhere. They emotionally invest in conversations that produce nothing. They react to opinions that do not matter. They consume information that does not improve position. The disciplined man engages rarely, but when he does, it matters. Because his engagement is deliberate. Deliberate engagement creates impact. Impact creates memory. Memory creates influence. Now let us speak about non-involvement. Non-involvement is not apathy. It is discernment. It is the ability to witness without entering. This skill is critical because every emotional entry creates obligation. Obligation drains autonomy. The disciplined man preserves autonomy by staying on the perimeter. He watches patterns unfold. He observes dynamics. He notices who reacts first, who fills silence, who seeks validation. This information accumulates quietly, and information is leverage. Now consider how most people reveal themselves. They reveal through urgency. They reveal through explanation. They reveal through emotional intensity. The disciplined man reveals nothing unnecessary. Not because he is hiding, but because exposure is inefficient. Efficiency is a discipline. Efficiency means no wasted motion, no wasted words, no wasted emotion. This is why disciplined individuals often appear minimal. Minimalism is not aesthetic, it is functional. Now let us speak about silence as strategy. Silence is not the absence of communication. It is the refusal to communicate unnecessarily. This refusal shifts responsibility. When you speak less, others speak more. When others speak more, they expose more. This is not manipulation. It is consequence. Silence forces projection. People fill gaps with their assumptions. Those assumptions reveal internal states. The disciplined man listens. Listening gathers leverage. This is why silence is feared. Silence does not reassure. It does not validate. It does not stabilize weak identities. Silence removes scaffolding, and without scaffolding, structure is revealed. Now consider how people attempt to pull attention. They provoke, they dramatize, they escalate, they create emotional hooks. The disciplined man does not bite, not because he is numb, but because he recognizes bait. Recognition precedes restraint. Restraint precedes dominance. Dominance without aggression is the highest form of control. Now let us talk about energy economy. Every interaction costs energy. Most people spend energy without accounting. They wonder why they feel drained. The disciplined man budgets energy. He asks internally, does this interaction return more than it costs? If the answer is no, he withdraws. Not emotionally, energetically. Withdrawal preserves momentum. Momentum compounds. Now consider focus. Focus is not effort. Focus is exclusion. To focus deeply, you must exclude aggressively. Exclusion requires saying no. Saying no creates discomfort. Most people avoid discomfort, so they avoid focus. The disciplined man accepts discomfort because discomfort is temporary. Loss of focus is permanent. Now let us examine long-form concentration. Long-form concentration is impossible in a reactive nervous system. Reaction creates microfractures in attention. Over time, these fractures become normal. The disciplined man repairs attention by refusing immediate response. He allows delay. Delay heals fragmentation. This is why disciplined individuals can think deeply for long periods. Depth creates original insight. Original insight creates authority. Authority creates independence. Now let us speak about non-reactive confidence. Confidence is often mistaken for expression. In reality, confidence is tolerance. Tolerance of silence. Tolerance of uncertainty. Tolerance of misunderstanding. The disciplined man tolerates all three because his identity is internally anchored. Anchored identity does not seek confirmation. It does not collapse when ignored. It does not inflate when praised. This stability is felt instantly. People sense it. They adjust. Now consider why chaos avoids some people. Chaos seeks resonance. It feeds on reaction. It multiplies through engagement. The disciplined man offers no resonance. Chaos bounces off. Not dramatically, quietly. This quiet repulsion is misunderstood. Some call it coldness. Others call it arrogance. Both are projections. In reality, it is boundary integrity. Now let us examine boundary integrity. Boundaries enforced emotionally invite challenge. Boundaries enforced calmly end discussion. Tone is critical. A calm no carries more authority than an emotional yes. The disciplined man understands tone is not about sound. It is about internal state. Internal state leaks through posture, timing, and silence. Now consider why over-explaining destroys position. Explanation implies defense. Defense implies vulnerability. Vulnerability invites testing. Testing invites escalation. The disciplined man stops the chain early. He explains only when explanation serves strategy. Otherwise, he remains silent. Silence preserves position. Position preserves options. Options are power. Now let us talk about detachment. Detachment is not indifference. It is non-attachment to outcome. Outcome attachment creates tension. Tension distorts judgment. Detachment clears perception. Clear perception improves decision-making. This is why disciplined individuals often make better choices under pressure. Pressure reveals who is attached. The unattached remain calm. Calm minds see paths others miss. Now consider social environments. In groups, the person who speaks least often holds the most influence because others begin to orient around them. They wait for reaction. They seek cues. Silence becomes reference. Reference creates hierarchy. Hierarchy emerges without announcement. Now let us speak about self-possession. Self-possession is the state where nothing external pulls you out of alignment. This state is built slowly, through hundreds of moments where you do not react, where you pause, where you choose restraint. Each moment strengthens the structure. Over time, reaction loses its urgency. Urgency loses its authority. Authority returns inward. Now understand this clearly. Power does not come from control over others. It comes from immunity to control. The disciplined man is immune because he does not respond on command. He chooses. Choice is sovereignty, and sovereignty changes everything. To understand status, you must understand pressure. Pressure does not create character. It reveals structure. When pressure rises, most people accelerate. They speak faster. They explain more. They justify themselves. They seek relief through expression. Acceleration feels like action, but it is loss of control. The disciplined man does the opposite. He slows down. Not theatrically, not defiantly, naturally, because his nervous system is trained. Training does not show in calm moments. It shows when stakes rise. Under pressure, the disciplined man reduces movement. Fewer words, fewer gestures, fewer emotional signals. Reduction increases clarity. Clarity increases authority. This is why silence becomes heavier when tension increases. Silence under pressure signals surplus control. Now consider status without performance. Low status must signal itself. High status does not. Low status explains. High status allows interpretation. Low status reacts. High status absorbs. This difference is not cultural, it is biological. Humans read stability as leadership. Stability under pressure is interpreted as capacity. Capacity attracts alignment. People align with those who seem able to hold more. The disciplined man holds more because he leaks less. Now let us speak about rarity. Rarity is not scarcity. Scarcity is forced. Rarity is natural. The disciplined man is rare because he is not everywhere. He does not insert himself. He does not seek visibility. He does not chase relevance. Relevance that is chased loses value. Relevance that emerges holds weight. This is why rare presence commands attention. When someone is always present, their presence becomes background. When someone appears selectively, their presence becomes event. Events shift environments. Now consider how people measure importance. They measure it by availability. Who responds fastest? Who shows up most? Who is always reachable? This metric is flawed. Availability measures dependency, not value. The disciplined man decouples value from accessibility. He is accessible by intention, not by demand. This creates asymmetry. Asymmetry creates leverage. Now let us examine emotional economy again, but under pressure. Pressure amplifies waste. Every unnecessary reaction costs double. The disciplined man becomes more efficient as pressure increases. He cuts speech. He cuts explanation. He cuts emotional output. This reduction creates space. Space allows strategic thinking. Strategic thinking under pressure wins consistently. Now let us speak about being unreadable. Unreadability is not deception. It is lack of leakage. When emotions are regulated, there is nothing to read, no tells, no urgency, no visible need. This creates uncertainty in others. Uncertainty forces caution. Caution shifts power. The disciplined man does not seek to confuse. He simply does not broadcast. Now consider respect dynamics. Respect grows where resistance exists. Not resistance to others, resistance to impulse. When people see you resist impulse, they recalibrate expectations. They stop pushing. They stop testing. They approach more carefully. This happens quietly, without confrontation. Now let us talk about status signaling without words. Status is communicated through timing, posture, pace, silence, not through claims, not through titles, not through explanation. The disciplined man arrives without hurry. He listens more than he speaks. He responds last. He leaves without announcement. These behaviors are not tactics. They are consequences of internal order. Internal order expresses externally. Now consider why pressure breaks most people. Because pressure activates fear. Fear seeks relief. Relief comes through action. Action becomes reaction. Reaction destroys position. The disciplined man tolerates fear without acting on it. Fear becomes information, not instruction. This distinction is critical. Now let us examine self-trust under pressure. Self-trust removes panic. Panic comes from uncertainty about oneself. When you trust your alignment, you do not rush. Rushing implies doubt. The disciplined man does not rush because he trusts his preparation. Preparation is invisible, but its effects are unmistakable. Now let us speak about status inversion. In many situations, the loudest person is the least powerful. Because volume compensates for instability. The quiet individual often holds the center. Because center does not need reinforcement. Others orbit. Orbiting creates hierarchy. Hierarchy forms silently. Now consider why disciplined individuals intimidate. Not through threat, through composure. Composure denies emotional access. Without emotional access, manipulation fails. Without manipulation, control attempts collapse. This is why some people feel uneasy around disciplined individuals. They cannot find leverage. Now let us examine pressure as training. Pressure is not an enemy. It is calibration. Each pressure event tests alignment. Each test reveals weakness. The disciplined man uses pressure to refine structure. He notices where reaction still appears. He tightens those points. Over time, pressure loses novelty. Novelty fuels anxiety. Familiarity breeds calm. Now let us speak about finality. The disciplined man's decisions feel final, not because they are inflexible, but because they are considered. Others sense this. They stop negotiating. They stop pushing. They adapt. Finality creates gravity. Gravity creates leadership. Now understand this clearly. Status is not granted. It is assumed. But assumption without structure collapses. Assumption with structure becomes reality. The disciplined man assumes position because his internal order supports it. Others feel it. They respond accordingly. This response is not conscious. It is instinctive. Now let us end this section with a truth. Power does not announce itself. It arranges the room. The disciplined man does not dominate. He stabilizes, and stability becomes the reference point. Others adjust. To complete this understanding, you must understand access. Access is more important than visibility. Visibility without control creates consumption. Consumption erodes value. The disciplined man controls access. Not aggressively, not defensively, structurally. He understands that not everyone deserves proximity. Not everyone deserves explanation. Not everyone deserves emotional access. This is not arrogance. This is filtration. Filtration preserves quality. Quality creates gravity. Gravity attracts what is aligned and repels what is not. Now consider how most people lose control of access. They overshare. They over-explain. They overcommit. They over-respond. Each over is a leak. Leaks reduce pressure. Reduced pressure reduces influence. The disciplined man seals leaks early. He answers selectively. He explains strategically. He commits deliberately. This creates something rare. Consistency without exhaustion. Now let us speak about rare attention. Attention that is always available is background noise. Attention that is rare is signal. The disciplined man offers attention sparingly. When he listens, it matters. When he speaks, it lands. Because his attention is not diluted. This is why people feel seen around disciplined individuals. Not because they are expressive, but because they are fully present when they choose to be. Presence by choice is more powerful than presence by habit. Now consider control of rhythm. Who sets the rhythm controls the interaction. Most people surrender rhythm unconsciously. They match speed. They mirror urgency. They react to tone. The disciplined man sets rhythm by remaining steady. Others slow down to match him. This creates hierarchy. Hierarchy is not imposed. It emerges. Now let us talk about final integration. Discipline is not a technique. It is an architecture, an internal architecture where emotion answers to clarity, impulse answers to intention, urgency answers to structure. Once this architecture is in place, behavior changes automatically. You do not try to be calm. Calm is the default. You do not try to be unavailable. Unavailability is natural because your life has direction. Direction eliminates compulsion. Now understand this. Compulsion is the enemy of power. Compulsion reacts. Direction responds. The disciplined man is directional. Now consider the final shift. At some point, people stop pulling you. They stop demanding. They stop provoking. Not because you confronted them, but because nothing worked. No reaction, no collapse, no engagement. This is not isolation. This is respect by recognition. Recognition that access is not guaranteed. Now let us speak about peace. Peace is not passivity. Peace is dominance over internal chaos. When internal chaos disappears, external chaos loses relevance. You move through environments without absorbing them. You are present without being consumed. This is mastery. Now let us close with the core truth. The unavailable man is not hiding. He is positioned. He is not distant. He is centered. He is not cold. He is sovereign. Sovereignty is not loud. It does not explain itself. It does not seek permission. It simply exists, and existence at that level reshapes everything around it. Once you understand this, you stop asking, how do I protect my energy? Because your energy is no longer accessible by default. You stop asking, how do I command respect? Because respect adjusts itself to structure. You stop asking, how do I stay calm? Because calm is no longer an effort. It is your baseline. This is the final realization. The world does not need to be controlled. Only your access to it does. When access is controlled, power returns. Quietly, permanently. There comes a moment when discipline stops being something you apply and becomes something you are. At this stage, you are no longer managing behavior. You are managing state. And state determines everything. Your tone, your posture, your timing, your decisions. Most people try to control outcomes. The disciplined individual controls state. And from that position, outcomes follow naturally. Now let us speak about inner silence. Not silence as absence of sound, but silence as absence of internal friction. Most people carry constant internal noise. They argue with themselves, justify themselves, replay conversations, anticipate reactions. This internal dialogue consumes energy. The disciplined mind reduces dialogue, not by force, by clarity. When values are clear, the mind has nothing to negotiate. Negotiation disappears. Silence emerges. This silence is not empty. It is available capacity. Capacity for focus. Capacity for precision. Capacity for restraint. Restraint is misunderstood. Restraint is not weakness. Restraint is stored force, like a coiled spring. Now consider invisible dominance. The strongest influence is not the one you can see. It is the one you feel without understanding why. The disciplined man does not dominate conversations. He dominates atmosphere. Rooms change when he enters, not because he speaks, but because his nervous system is regulated. Regulation is contagious. Chaos reacts to regulation by slowing down. People unconsciously mirror stability. This is leadership without declaration. Now let us speak about non-reactive perception. Most people experience life through interpretation. This is good. This is bad. This is disrespect. This is unfair. Interpretation creates emotional charge. The disciplined mind observes first. Interpretation is delayed. Delay dissolves distortion. Reality becomes clearer when emotion is not assigned immediately. This creates an enormous advantage. While others are busy reacting, you are seeing. Seeing clearly is the highest leverage. Now consider psychological insulation. Insulation does not mean indifference. It means selective permeability. What enters you is chosen. What does not is ignored. The disciplined man does not absorb moods. He does not internalize chaos. He does not borrow anxiety. This makes him stable in unstable environments. Stability in instability is dominance. Now let us talk about identity without audience. Most people behave differently when no one is watching. Their discipline collapses. Their standards drop. The disciplined individual behaves consistently with or without witnesses. This creates internal alignment. Alignment creates self-trust. Self-trust replaces motivation. You no longer need to push yourself. You move naturally. Because there is no internal resistance. Resistance is what exhausts people, not effort. Now consider delayed gratification at scale. Discipline is not denying pleasure forever. It is choosing sequence. Work before reward. Silence before speech. Observation before reaction. Sequence creates power. Power accumulates when gratification is postponed intentionally. Most people collapse under delay. The disciplined individual becomes stronger. Delay sharpens desire. Sharp desire fuels execution. Now let us speak about emotional immunity. Immunity is not numbness, it is recognition. Recognition that emotion is weather, not terrain. Weather changes, terrain remains. The disciplined man stands on terrain. Emotion passes. Nothing is damaged. This is why insult loses power. This is why praise loses control. Neither changes position. Position is internal. Now consider life without urgency. Urgency is often artificial, manufactured by expectations, deadlines that don't matter, social pressure. The disciplined individual questions urgency. Is this real? Is this consequential? Is this aligned? If not, it is ignored. This preserves tempo. Tempo determines longevity. Those who rush burn out. Those who pace endure. Now let us address control without dominance. The disciplined man does not control others. He controls himself. This self-control changes dynamics automatically. People adjust. They soften. They slow. They recalibrate. This is why authority often feels quiet. It does not demand. It allows. Now understand this deeply. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding the world. And when the world is not fed, it stops biting. This is not withdrawal. This is selective engagement. Engagement with purpose. Engagement with intention. Now consider freedom. Freedom is not doing anything you want. Freedom is not being compelled. Compulsion is the absence of discipline. Discipline removes compulsion. When compulsion disappears, choice expands. Expanded choice is freedom. Now we approach a critical insight. At some point, people stop asking why you are calm. They stop questioning your boundaries. They stop testing you. Not because they understand you, but because they cannot move you. Immovability commands respect, not admiration. Respect. Admiration fades. Respect endures. Now let us speak about final internal position. You are not against the world. You are not above it. You are not hiding from it. You are unavailable to its chaos, available only to what matters. This creates a life with less noise and more depth, less reaction and more direction. This is not a technique. This is a way of being, and once integrated, it cannot be taken away, because it does not depend on conditions. It depends on structure, and structure, once built, stands. At the end of everything, understand this. The goal was never to become distant. The goal was to become undisturbed. You were never meant to react to life. You were meant to direct it. The world will remain loud. People will remain emotional. Chaos will continue to search for attention. But you will no longer answer every call. You will no longer explain every silence. You will no longer justify every boundary, not because you are cold, but because you are clear. Clear in who you are, clear in what matters, clear in what deserves your energy. And clarity creates calm. Calm creates control. Control creates freedom. From this point forward, you do not need to change the world. You only need to remain centered while it moves around you. Let noise pass. Let pressure dissolve. Let reaction die where it stands. You are not unavailable out of fear. You are unavailable because you are busy becoming unshakable. And once you reach this state, Nothing external can pull you out of alignment. The world cannot disturb what no longer responds. Stay disciplined, stay deliberate, stay sovereign.